Hello everybody, Andy here, and today I want to talk to you about Necromunda Hive Secundus. I want to tell you what it is, and I want to tell you what it isn't, specifically, but also I want to tell you just what Necromunda is as well, because maybe you've only just seen Hive Secundus coming out and you're like, well, clearly Secundus means second, whereas Primus, I'll get into it, don't worry. I also wanted to just very quickly talk about kind of how the terrain box that GW also sent me, by the way, ties into Secundus, and if it's mandatory or not. Yeah, okay, that's about it. Now, I actually haven't read this yet, so allow me to show you how easy and intuitive the Necromunda rule system is. I will quickly read it, and then... So now that I've fully read Necromunda Hive Secundus, the rulebook 4, let's just quickly say, what is this rulebook? Do you need to go and buy it? No. There you go. This rulebook gives you all the core rules for the game, of Necromunda, not specifically Hive Secundus. It then also gives you the Under Hell's campaign. It also gives you the new rules for the Vansar Archaeotech Gang, the Spirers, and the Mouse Drain. Cool. Now, if you aren't aware of Necromunda at all, allow me to very quickly break down what that is. Necromunda is a really cool and thematic and flavorful rule system that focuses on allowing you to have fun and do cool narrative things and build a gang of hive dwellers. It's best played as a campaign system where you and some people that you know are telling a story. It is not a competitive game. In fact, it is a game that is designed to be broken. If you go and ask any Necromunda player, they will, assuming they're not huffing the copium, just straight up tell you, yes, it's not a balanced game. The game can be broken. Some things are straight up just better than other things. If you have someone in your play group that doesn't want to tell a story and is instead trying to tweak things and min-max, Necromunda's not for you. Okay, and that's just how it is. There you go. Now, that's not a bad thing. I would almost kind of think of Necromunda as being a little bit of like a light RPG. That's how you should approach Necromunda. It's a light RPG that obviously focuses on the war, the rule system that lets you have combat in your RPG. And then in between that, you're having fun building your gang and telling your own story. And where it really kind of tells the story is between your games. And you just kind of use the game that you had as an inspiration for the story you're trying to tell. So perhaps in the last game, one of your guys took an eye injury, and therefore in the mechanics of the game, he is then worse at shooting his gun. That's super thematic, super fun, that you can sit down and say, oh wow, because of what happened on the board, the decisions I made, the dice I rolled, the dice my opponent rolled, we now can decide that this guy has this mechanical effect, and in my head, I'm then going to say he now has a grudge against this guy, and he now hates all Vansars, and if he ever gets this guy, you know, and takes him out of action in the next game, then we can have fun and house rule something and say, I get +1 to leadership, whatever, you know, like that kind of thing. That's how you should be viewing Necromunda. Cool, okay. That's very roughly what Necromunda is. The reason I say all of this is because I would hate for people to go out and think, Hive Secundus looks cool. I know from the currently 40k, Age of Sigmar and Kill Team are all becoming increasingly tighter rule sets focused very heavily on competitive play. And competitive play tends to mean tightly balanced. Whether they achieve that or not, irrelevant, that's what they're going for. Necromunda is not that. In the Ash Wastes rulebook, that's where you include vehicles in Necromunda, it outright says, as a little designer's box in the rulebook, it says, we have given you these rules so that you can make cool vehicles. You can break the game. Don't do that. Right? GW knows what Necromunda is. it's giving you more of Necromunda. The way that Necromunda expands its world is typically with campaigns. These are, as if you're familiar with RPGs, with D&D, whatever, these are little stories that you can tell, and it gives you an outline that you can run your gang through. It doesn't so much tend to give you a new gang to play with. We have a new gang in Hive Secundus, but that's not the point. Typically, an expansion for Necromunda is a new, cool story to tell. And that is what Necromunda Hive Secundus gives you, the Underhealth campaign. What is the Underhealth campaign? The Underhealth... Oh, sorry. Quickly, before we get on to that, in this book, we also have the new gangers for the Van Saar, the Archeo, the Tech Hunters, whatever they're called. And we also have the Mouse Drains. The Tech Hunters, just to be super clear, are not a whole new gang. They are just an additional data sheet that you can hire if you are Van Saar. There you go. The 8 models of Van Saar models that you get in this box are just another data sheet. They're similar to your Juves, similar to your Gangers, Specialists, etc. I think they're all specialists. They are all specialists, actually. And there's a few different types in there. Very cool. I built one of each. I haven't had time to paint them, my bad. They're nifty. There you go. I suspect going forward, this is going to be kind of what GW does for the gangs for this season of Necromunda, whatever it is, where I'm pure guesswork to clarify. We're going to have the Hive Secundus kind of expanded out, and every box will get kind of, you know, the Delac specialists, not the Tech Hunters, but the Shadow Stabbers. GW, you can have that one. That's on me. We also get the Spirers. They're cool, big dudes, nice. And we get the Mouse Rain, who are, of course, the Gene Stealer weirdos. Cool, cool, cool. Right, okay. That's what's in the box. What's in the box? That's what's in the box. It's a head. So, cool. Underhealth campaign. Right. Let's be very clear, because when this released, and if all you know about Necromunda is the 2 videos I did, part of me it's a dungeon dive. It is a 2-player campaign. That's a new thing for Necromunda. 1 player. Now, if you're into Necromunda, you've seen the Warhammer community article that says this. This is just me confirming that. Okay, it's a 2-player campaign. That's a new thing for Necromunda. The Arbitrator. Think of him as in an RPG. He's your dungeon master. He's the guy that that goes ahead and says, you know what, this gang's getting a bit too powerful. I'm going to rein them in. I'm going to give them some negatives, some debuffs, or you can only take certain models in the next one, and actually you're playing against one of the worst players, so I'm going to give them extra models, extra credits, because on their way to you they found a credit cache, so they bought some new, you know, that kind of thing. And normally that player, he might be one of the gangs, but typically, in theory, he's supposed to not be a ganger. Really, he's meant to just be the person keeping everything running. He's maybe the person writing the cool story out for you. In this, he plays the Mouse Drain. Now, the Mouse Drain, the Gene Stealers, they are not a true gang in this. They don't really cost credits, so then it's not a gang you can take from this book and make its own thing to play in any other campaign, which is a thing to know. You have your stats, but there's no credits costs. Everything has Mouse Drain points, and that interacts specifically with the Underhealth campaign. Likewise, something that, because it's a campaign game, not just a narrative game, not a skirmish game, it's a campaign game. Something, it's very common in Necromunda that you would have a gang and run them in one campaign and then swap to another gang, but you can also take a gang and that's your gang. You run them through all your campaigns, they grow all the way through, that's your thing. However, it specifically says there are list building restrictions in the Underhealth campaign that means you cannot do that. Or, it's Necromunda, you can do literally anything you want, nobody cares about house rules, but it does say don't do that. There are a few list building restrictions that make me believe that Hive Secundus, the Underhealth campaign, is a beginner game. Okay? But not just a beginner game. It's a beginner game for one person. It is a format of Necromunda that I think makes a lot of sense. It is for one person that already knows the game and wants to give somebody else a bit of a custom experience to get them into Necromunda, the larger game. Because one of the people is an arbitrator and plays a gang that can't really be a full gang, that is of course the person that already knows Necromunda. Then the other person can play any gang. You don't have to play the Van Saar. However, specifically with the Underhealth campaign, it's 1,250 credits, and you have to have Aspira, as your leader. There you go. That's a thing. That's a thing. Don't really know why. It seems like a very odd restriction, because it means you have to go buy Aspira, but whatever. And they're 350, or the Horus dudes are 350 points minimum. So really, you're playing a kind of a 950 game, 850 game, whatever, which actually lines up quite well with the tech hunters that you get in the box. That's probably why they did that. And there you go. Let's be clear. I've just got to say it. It's not a solo game. There you go. Now, if you listen to anything else I've just said, you already knew it wasn't a solo game. However, you might be thinking one person is the arbitrator and plays a team that can't really be a team, so can I play it solo? Well, you could play anything solo. You could play this solo, and in a sense it is, but there is no AI deck. There is no, it's not like the Dark Tide board game where it gives you just a little flow chart to follow. So you would just be playing just two normal teams yourself. There you go. It would of course be very easy to make an AI deck for Necromunda. It's not particularly difficult, especially with the mouse drain, but that's not how the game is designed. It does not give you those tools. There you go. The other thing is for the Unhealth campaign, again showing that it's a very beginner system, is for the gang that is not the arbitrator, that is not the mouse drain. No hangers-ons, no additional dudes. You just pick one of your core 6 gangs and you have a Spira leader. There you go. So that's a thing. I do like that they haven't locked it, like in the actual text, to just Van Saar or just the tech hunters. They're what you get in the box, but it's not locked. You could take anything you want. Just need the Spira leader. Cool. That's kind of it. I don't think anything else needs to be said. If you're into Necromunda, there was a Warhammer community article that kind of explained everything. It straight up showed the the campaign rotation of having a delve, an extraction, and a break. So you already know that. Cool. Yeah, there you go. That's about right. Let's quickly touch on what's in the box. So, as in the accoutrement. You get everything you need to play. You get some dice. The dice are lovely, by the way. Just throwing that out. I swear they're larger than normal, but they're very nice dice. Everything's quite nicely packaged in its new GW style of having some nice, everything's a little bit themed now instead of just being plastic bags, which is nice. It's good to open. You get some cards, so you've got your ganger cards already. If you don't want to make your own dudes, you've got your tech hunters there, you've got your Spiras there. You have some doors as terrain, and that's all you technically need for terrain. You have 2 paper mats. These paper mats are double-sided, and the way they normally work in the Underhealth campaign is the ganger puts down 1 mat on the side he chooses, and then the mouse drain gets to place the second mat at an orientation that they want to place it at. So the mouse drain always gets to decide that, which makes a lot of sense because, of course, generally in Necromunda, and the whole point of Hive Secundus is you're delving into somewhere that is basically unknown. That's about it. There you go. Oh, terrain. So you might be thinking, oh, GW is saying this new ruined Zone Mortalis terrain. Does that, is that custom built for these boards? Can I buy one set of that and suddenly I've got everything I need to turn the Underhell's campaign mats into 3D? No, you don't. There you go. You have enough ruined sections, but you don't have enough of the rest of the sections. So on the map, the paper board, you have some, layouts where you would put your your ruined bits that you can buy in the Ruined Zone Mortalis terrain, and then you have just some normal bits. And you do have some normal bits in that would function as that in the terrain set. However, you don't have enough. So if you do want to do that, which of course, if you're a seasoned Necromunda vet trying to get a new player in, of course, 3D looks so much cooler. So you would want to do that. That's fine. You'll need one Zone Mortalis set and one Ruin set to bring this board fully to life. There you go, which is nice and easy. That's about it. Yeah. Would I recommend, therefore, Hive Secundus? We know at this point that the price, RRP, is £105. And I believe, off the top of my dome, the Ruined Zone Mortalis, I think was 60? It was either 55 or 65. 55 sounds much better. That's not bad. If that was 55, that's not bad, actually. Anyway, at 105, this isn't terrible for my money. I think that seems pretty acceptable to me. I probably would have bought this if GW hadn't sent it to me, just because I have problems with, acquisition. But that seems fine to me. I don't really know what the vibe from the Necromunda community is, if they're generally very conservative on such things, or if they're just hyped to get new products. It's like, oh my god, finally, something that isn't just a book. Yes, please, daddy. But for me, this seems good. This seems fine. It's cheaper than Kill Team. You know, those monthly boxes, quarterly boxes. Cheaper than the big FOMO boxes that they do for 40k Sigmar. Yeah, seems good. You know, the tech, I like Van Saar, so I was going to get the Tech Hunters regardless. Oddly, everybody else has been really hyped for Mouse Train. I don't, not for me, bruh. Not for me, but I like that I have now, I like what this offers because I don't play Necromunda. And the idea that there is now something that is kind of for me to get into Necromunda with a favoured bro, and we could learn it together, because I don't mind playing the Mouse Train or playing a gang. And likewise, you can house rule everything in Necromunda. It's the point of the game. So we could easily do, each play session, play date, if you will. I'll play my gang into him doing the Mouse Train, and then I'll play the Mouse Train into his gang, and quite easily run 2 campaigns side by side, sort of thing. And then the final battle, instead of being who controls the Brood Throne, could easily be some sort of weird 3-way between 2 people. Anyway, there you go. I hope this has helped you. I'm sorry that I can't show you my painted models. I haven't had time. Basically, this turned up on my doorstep, and then Scaventide did the next day. Scaventide released the next day, so I went and bought that, obviously. And I've been building that since. I'm way more interested in Sigmar right now than Necromunda, so that's my bad. I do apologise. Yeah, my bad. I don't have an answer for that one. Sorry, guys. You got to go where the whimsy takes you. There you go. We'll end on that. You've got to go where the whimsy takes you. Goodbye.